Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. We're coming at you guys with another video as we go through this long off season. We cannot wait until football is finally back. We can all sit down on a Sunday afternoon with the boys, AJ drinking a little bit, everybody else is enjoying water, of course, always staying hydrated, right, AJ? But we cannot wait until this NFL season starts. And as we start getting closer and closer, I see it's more and more confused on how there's all these great free agents out there still. There's a lot of good names out there. We're going to get into every single one. AJ doesn't think so, apparently. There's a lot of good names out there, in my opinion, that can definitely help your team. Whether obviously, a lot of these guys are not going to be your starters, your first team people, but they are good. D-Hop is a tight end. Not yet, man. I heard he's a Patriot. I heard he really likes Belichick. I don't know. I really hope he goes to the Patriots.
Ew, why?
Because this is my reasoning. And we'll get into it a little bit because when we actually talk about him. But I want there to be no excuse for Mac Jones on why he isn't successful next year. If he cannot do it with D-Hop, then send him out of there, send him out of the whole league. But I think he can at least produce with D-Hop.
You know what? No excuse for Mac Jones.
Yes.
How many excuses do you want to give this guy?
We're already starting arguing. I didn't finish the intro.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm not a Titans hater, all right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is, Rafe. He is.
I kind of was. I was plotting on their downfall last year. I wanted Jaguars to take the spot. They ended. I've been right so far, but I'm not a full Titans hater. I think you just should move on from Tannehill. You guys had your moments. What's up, Nestor? Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. But yeah, as we get closer and closer, we're going to see a lot of these guys start to get picked up. So we're going to go through a lot of these free agents. We'll talk more about some of the bigger names and then kind of go quickly through some of the smaller names out there. But we're going to be giving you our thoughts on them, whether they still have it, whether they don't. Have we already seen their finish in the NFL? And what type of teams do we think they could potentially land on? So we're going to go ahead and get into it, unless you guys have anything to say.
This is going to be a fun video.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Yeah. And stay tuned towards the end for some big news.
All right. Here we go. First off the bat, we're going to start with the quarterbacks. Go through the exciting people first, okay? Quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and move on to the lesser important,
less important
positions. Yes. Offensive lineman. All right.
Important, I swear.
Gabriel says, retrain all the way. Choo-choo. Love the show, boys. Hey, appreciate you, Gabriel. Appreciate you always tuning in. I think D-Hop's going to be a Patriot, man. I think so. But let's go ahead and get into it. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz just finished his last season with the Commanders, if I remember correctly. And did not exactly finish well at all. It didn't really start well. And he never looked good in the jersey. At this point, as far as Carson Wentz, I think he can still be he's not like a guy you're going to want to go into the playoffs with. But if your team loses their starting quarterback mid-season, or if you just want a reliable option, reliable as far as backups, I think Carson Wentz still has that much in the tank. I definitely think he will get picked up sometime in between now or in the season.
Okay. Me personally, I think there's a more interesting name when it comes to the QB in the free market spot or the free market. Carson Wentz, I don't believe he's going to get signed before the season starts. Very similar to the other quarterback that I'm thinking of. He is going to be waiting and lurking in the shadows to see who's not going to make it, right? Is someone who get injured? Who's desperate for a quarterback? Because we saw that a lot last year, a lot of injured quarterbacks. For one, I could tell we went through 4 freaking quarterbacks for the Niners. But let's look at it, right? Jimmy G for the Las Vegas Raiders, he can't even pass his physical. So there might be an opening over there, which is, pretty ideal for someone like Carson Wentz who fits the system. So I could definitely see him as that plug-and-play quarterback on a one or remainder of the season deal to try to prove it and try to still continue to have a career in the NFL.
I like that, AJ. Brave says any vet quarterback I think can be serviceable for a few games. I definitely agree with that. There's people who have like passed their prime that you just want that type of guy in the locker room. Not saying they're going to ball out when you call their name. You just want them to be a game manager. Hope your defense keep you in the game. Okay, you got anything to say about Carson Wentz, Vincent, or any predictions on what team he'll land on?
I'm not too sure where he'll land. I think it's going to be determined on how the season goes along. I do agree with you guys that he's not going to be picked up before the season starts or in training camp. Like unless someone goes down early, hopefully not. We want the NFL to go on as it should with the quarterbacks that are there with their specific teams right now. We want to see these young guys at the quarterback position also develop, like Sam Howell. So I'm glad that he gets his shot. But Carson Wentz, I think there's a high possibility that we don't see him play this year at all. We don't see him touch the field. Maybe he'll be signed to a team, but I don't think he'll touch the field at all.
If he wants a career, he's going to have to. He's going to have to force his way in somehow, some way.
Yeah, if he doesn't play next year, everybody's going to be forgetting about him the following year. He's going to be old news. He's just going to pass away. Blurpy is in the chat. Wentz would fit perfectly on the Niners, injury prone. Woo! Dang.
Wow. Let me see right here. Blurpy, I believe you're in our Discord. Hit me up. I'm going to send you my Addy. We're going to duke it out, all right? Just because you're feeling confident today.
Dang.
But honestly, if I'm not mistaken, Blurpy, he is I want to say he's a Pages fan. I'm not too sure. But I'm not going to diss on any team. Wentz does not fit good with the Niners. Maybe in his healthy years when he had his he just makes horrible decisions. He reminds me way too much of Jimmy G. And that's why he didn't find success out there in the Indianapolis Colts or in the Washington Commanders, because he's not a smart quarterback. He's a very talented quarterback, and he could be one of the best in the league. But he's just not there. He makes dumb decisions, which cost the team games. Anytime, any place. But in my opinion, the other quarterback that is on the market, which I feel like it's more valuable, is Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he's always had a pretty solid career as a backup, and he's as a fan of a team, I'd much rather have Teddy Bridgewater in than Carson Wentz if something were to happen with my quarterback, because he is not let me high risk, high reward guy. Now he's let's get the job done type of guy. And as a quarterback, I feel like you cannot be a high risk, high reward type of player. That's just me, in my opinion.
I actually really agree with that opinion, AJ.
Thank you.
I think Carson Wentz, as far as talent wise, is going to give you. He's more talented, but Teddy Bridgewater, he's definitely more. But Teddy Bridgewater is much more reliable. You know what you're going to get with them. He's going to go by the playbook. Carson Wentz may go a little bit off of playbook and get you some trouble in some games. So I definitely like that at AJ a lot.
Here's a wild thing. I think Teddy Bridgewater could slide in really well with Tampa Bay. I don't think he's been with them. He's been around the league.
Are you kidding me? Noodle arms? Oh my gosh, dude! This guy probably lives in Russia noodles. Or something, bro. Gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Teddy Bridgewater, or maybe even Carson Wentz. I think I agree with you guys that Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback right now. He's the guy who's probably most likely going to get signed before Carson Wentz does or anybody else does. But I think Teddy Bridgewater could fit well with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've heard a lot about Baker Mayfield not being able to do it there. So I could possibly see him playing a few games, and then Tampa Bay's like, we need a new quarterback. This is not working out.
I like it, Vince. I like it. Ray says all the Niners need is a quarterback. They already have two wide receiver ones and top 3 tight end, amazing line, and top 3 NFL defense. I think they got plenty of options, in my opinion, as far as who's their quarterback's going to be. Brock Purdy, he showed up last year in the playoffs, end of the season. I definitely think you can continue with him and let him develop and become a legit elite quarterback in this league once he gets healthy. And then you have Trey Lance, still untapped potential. We don't know what he's going to be. He could be trash. He could be a Hall of Fame quarterback. We just don't know. We don't know if he's ever going to get his chance. And then I think who starts week 1, most likely if Brock Purdy isn't somehow or isn't perfectly healthy, I think Sam Darnold's the starter. I think they definitely have Yes, I think Sam Darnold takes the spot.
No,
Whoa.
Sam
I think
Darnold's
so.
not gonna be. No, Sam Darnold's not gonna be taking the spot. Reed, you know how you are whenever I try to say something about the
For sure.
Packers.
For sure.
I'm 100% on this. Sam Darnold's not gonna take the spot. He could maybe potentially take at a chance a second string position if Brock Purdy's unable to go. But Sam Darnold's not going to take that first rep. He's not going to be a week one starter no matter what, as long as one of the two guys are healthy, because we got to see what Trey Lance has. I mean, Sam Darnold could outperform him, but we got to see what Trey Lance has. We have to. This is the last chance we got until someone has to pay him. But I like how the Niners are running it. They're playing it safe. One of these three guys has to hit. And I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. You guys know this when he came in the league.
Yep.
I'm a fan of his. I'm not hating.
Mhm.
He has the potential to be a starter. I think he'll be really good with the Niners. But one of those three guys has to hit, right? So let's see what Brock Purdy, how he comes back after the injury. Let's see what Trey Lance has to do, and let's see what Sam Darnold could do in that system. But I like what Rafe said. We saw the rankings. The Niners have ranked the first in free safeties, first in linebackers. I believe like third or fourth in wide receivers, top 3 tight end, yes, and O-line top 5 in that conference. But yeah, they need a quarterback.
For sure. I only say that because from what Kyle Shanahan has like whispered, I feel like he's kind of preparing for that to potentially happen. But that's just my thoughts. I definitely value what you have to say, AJ. Though you're the Niner expert at the end of the day. Intro says Dr. Vinto says what's up to Vincent. Blurpy says Darnold is the best quarterback in the league. Maybe one day. He's a long way to go right now. Right now he's maybe a quarterback 3. Rave says former number 1 overall pick, legend Sam Darnold, number 3. The GOAT, Baker Mayfield, went 1. Yeah, that's so wild. Poor Baker. It's going to be a Bucks legend. Right, guys?
That draft class was kind of weird.
For sure.
It was. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all we have to really say about quarterbacks. Just Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, those are the 2 big names as far as who's left. So we're going to go ahead and move on to running backs. Dalvin Cook is obviously the most fresh on this list, just recently cut from the Minnesota Vikings, those idiots trying to save some money. Dalvin Cook is still, I think he's an elite talent if you put him in the right place. And what most likely is the rumor right now, I think he could land anywhere, but a lot of people think he lands with the Miami Dolphins. Ray says he was number 1. I'm in an alternate universe. You okay, Rave?
You guys are wild today, man. You guys are wild. And I'm glad you guys are here today. Just stay tuned because fantasy's coming soon. Our first fantasy video is coming out this Thursday. So fantasy football is back. Just a little sneak peek what we're going to reveal towards the end.
All right. Barkley says he was supposed to go 1, but then the
that defense looks great this upcoming season. So you have a lot to look forward to in a team that's really competing, not just for the playoffs, but they are competing for a Super Bowl appearance. And that was a huge factor that they were missing last year. I mean, they had some watered down running backs last year, and I love those guys, Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr., who were decent. But if you put someone back there like Dalvin Cook, who could present itself as a threat, you're causing some havoc on that offensive side of the ball.
AJ, I'm usually on your case for a lot of things, but I'm going to say I think you're cooking right now all day, all right? I love
like
everything you're saying.
I like that.
Nestor says woo to fantasy. He's decided that's coming back. Blurper says, give me Dalvin and D-Hop on the Pats, please.
He is a Patriots fan.
You sniffed it out, AJ.
Oh, yeah. They're all talking, no bite. That's how I knew. That's how
I
knew.
Ray says, was it his contract he got released? He was still good. Yes, it was 100% his contract. They were trying to save money in the cap room. I don't think they saved enough money to warrant it. I think the Vikings, as far as the headspace, I think they should still be trying to compete and not trying to reset with somebody younger. I don't think it was a smart move, in my opinion. They were trying to get him to take a pay cut. He didn't want to do it. He's going to go get paid somewhere else. Blurpy is still trying to fight you.
Anytime, anywhere. Stay tuned, buddy. Stay tuned towards the end of the video. We're going to release some info, and you're going to have your chance, all right?
All right. Vincent, you have anything to say on Dalvin Cook?
No, man. I think he's just going to be a great fit in Miami if he does end up going there. It's hard to see him go anywhere else, honestly. A lot of these teams are already locked up with one good running back that can be serviceable, or two. So I think Miami's the best spot here, but it would be crazy to see.
Miami is a good fit. I believe that's what he was going
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Oh, am I lagging hard or what?
No, I think you misspoke or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, I did. Oh, my bad. Yeah,
Oh, I thought that
Miami.
was
No, no.
me. I thought I lagged.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
I don't know.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Anyways,
right,
I
moving
think
on.
Miami's good. Miami's good.
At 1K subs, Blurpy says, you guys are fighting subscribers. Hey, help us get us there, man. And we'll definitely do that.
That's a
I'm
great
down.
idea. I think it's a tremendous idea. I'll be more than happy to. But yeah, help us get there. We're so close to 400. Remember, once we get to 400, we're going to do a huge giveaway like we always do. So make sure you go tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mama to go subscribe. It's absolutely free. And you get a chance of winning an autographed signed football by a player who is playing right now. It could be Dalvin Cook, the guy that's not going to go in the Patriots. It could be that guy. And then once we hit 100,000 subscribers, we'll set up a boxing match. Me and you, Blurpy, you'll be the first in line to get knocked out.
Dang. All right. Let's move it on. Continue on the running back list. Now we're going to talk about AJ's favorite running back, Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, yes, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The
I'm
guy
passing
who
off to
found
you.
his niche as a short down back. Wow, man, what an amazing guy! One of the highest paid running backs in the league. And for what? He was like, "Hey, let me get that bag, and I'm gonna stop producing, but I'm gonna get the coolest helmet out there. I'm gonna roll my shirt up and wear sweaters to practice because I'm trying to sweat. This is my year." I get outperformed by Tony Pollard. No backfire Tony Pollard. That guy's a stud, right? He's going to do great for fantasy. Stay tuned for Thursday. But Ezekiel Elliott, where can he go? What's a good landing spot? I think, you guys want to hear my wild prediction here? I'm not too fond with it, but we all know that the Chargers and Eckler could have come out with a contract extension agreement. Eckler wanted a trade, didn't work out. Well, if something happens where, Eckler, they do find a trade match for him, I think they're going to plug and play with a veteran running back such as Ezekiel Elliott, because that team is trying to get into a Super Bowl. And in other people's eyes, hey, he's a vet. He could do things. We've seen him catch the ball. This is as close as we're going to get for the pay that we want to get. That's as close. So I like that.
All right. Blurpy says Dalvin is already a Patriots legend. And then Israel says, AJ, are you doing another NFL fantasy league this year? Ready to run it back?
Israel Torres, that's a great question, man. Yes, actually, this year, NSP Fantasy Football will have 2 leagues. So we're going to have 2 leagues depending how many people want to play. We might even do more, but we're going to be on Sleeper Fantasy now. Sleeper Fantasy is a brand new app. Makes it super convenient for everyone on the computer, phone, tablet, whichever device you have. It's going to be great. And also, in one league is going to be completely free like it was last year. Congratulations to Pete De La Pena, who has an NSP trophy. Yes, for the free league, we do give out an NSP trophy absolutely free. You just have to be subscribed to the channel. And for the paid league, we're thinking about a minimum of $20 per paid league. And top 3 players that finish are going to get some prizes. They're going to get some memorabilia from NSP, memorabilia from their favorite team, NSP Fantasy, all that kind of stuff. But the first place winner, you're going to want to hear this. The first place winner is going to get a WWE fascinated belt that says NSP Fantasy Football. And let me tell you, this thing is going to be heavy. It's going to be real. And I am going to hoist it like that, like Roman Reigns. Y'all going to want to enter this league. There's going to be a lot of prizes. Legally, we can't give out cash, so we're going to give out the best trophy out there. So there it is.
Very, very cool. Thank you, AJ, for sharing all that information about our exciting things that are coming up in the future for this football season. It's going to be really, really, really fun. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed.
I'll write Israel down. I know he said he wanted to do both, so I'll write him in.
Write him in, AJ. But Zeke, yeah, AJ said it perfectly. He's a short yardage back. I don't know exactly what team's going to end up he'll fall in. I think Cowboys are still a legitimate chance. Especially since Pollard is going to be out for the beginning of the year. I don't really know where he's going to go. I have to. I'm complete lost at it. To be completely real with you, I definitely think he'll end up on a team. I think he should end up on a team. I don't think he's completely washed, but I don't really know at this point.
I also like the Broncos. I think that'll be a good
Broncos,
fit.
I think, could be a good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they still are struggling with injuries there at that position. I just don't think he's gonna get paid a lot, and I think that's what he's still like on the fence
sure.
about. He still wants to be getting paid. If he does go back with the Cowboys, he's not even gonna get half of what he was getting. It's gonna be interesting to see where he lands, and I'm 100% interested to see what the Cowboy fans think once he gets signed to a team if it's not the Cowboys again.
Well, here's
That's gonna
our
be-
resident Cowboy fan right here. Israel told us,
Ooh.
I do not want Elliott back. Wow, you traitor. How dare you turn your back on one of your favorite players?
Ain't what he said last year.
Yeah.
Y'all remember what he was saying last year. Israel, come on, man. You gotta stick true to your word here. You can't just oh man. Woo, fantasy will be so much fun.
Brave says, how undervalued are running backs now that he's only 27? Teams running backs for 5 years and then they're gone. We actually did a video on this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, talking about the current running back situation. Yeah, we completely agree. Nobody cares about running backs. I think Melvin Gordon just came out with like a statement last week on some podcast saying like it's like really hard for like running backs, especially him, an older guy. Nobody cares about him at all. He said it's the least fun position to play right now. Nobody cares about him, et cetera, et cetera. And these guys, they take a lot of hits, a lot more hits than a lot of other players. So it's really disheartening to see it, but it is very true. Very, very true, Brave. Makes sense that you see a lot of rookies shining. They want to go younger, cheaper, and that's how you do it. That's how you win championships.
Yep, every other position is requiring a lot of money now with the cap rising. So that's how it is.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're not Jonathan Taylor, if you're not Christian McCaffrey, if you're not Derrick Henry, you're not going to get that running back contract. And honestly, Melvin Gordon, he got outperformed by
sure.
a guy last name is Boone. So he had one good season, and I get it, right? Really, running backs, their lifespan in the NFL is not that long. And you could talk about age, but look at Frank Gore. Look at what he did, right? He's totally switched up his contract. That's why he was in the league for that long. He stopped with all the guaranteed money. He bet it on himself, and he replaced it with incentives, right? Hey, I'm a running back. I put my butt on the line. I could get this. If I get this many touches, I get this much. If I get injured while running a route, running a play, I get paid. You got to rework the contract. Something that's running back friendly. They can't get a wide receiver contract. It doesn't make sense in a business perspective. Yes, I do feel like they're undervalued. I love running backs. You guys know me, but we're going to have to, renegotiate those contract terms.
For sure. Israel says Pollard is the man. He's very, very, very good. So I think we kind of landed. We just don't know what's going to happen with Zeke.
It's hard to tell with him.
All right. We're going to start moving. We're going to start moving the ball right now. We're still only on running backs, so we're going to try to move through a lot of these people right now. Leonard Fournette did not finish very well. Got outshined by somebody younger last year of the Bucks. He's still a free agent out there. Can he still produce or help out a team?
Oh, yeah. I heard Blurpy's still on here because the perfect fit for him is the New England Patriots, baby. You get a vet out there. You get to teach a young stud like Ramondre Stevenson, who looked like Leonard Fournette when he was younger. I think this is a great fit. Leonard Fournette just needs to realize that he is not a lead back in this league anymore. He is more of a mentor. He's a vet. He's a coach and could still be a third down back to get those tough yardage. That's his position, not a running back one. He got outperformed by Rachaad White last year, younger, faster wheels, and honestly, he's more elusive. Leonard Fournette, he doesn't have that anymore due to his age. So I think a perfect fit for him will be the New England Patriots right behind Ramondre.
All right, I like it. Mm-hmm. Let's go on to Jerick McKinnon. Vincent, what are your thoughts on Jerick McKinnon? Did not finish very well with the Chiefs last year.
I mean, he's still a guy who's a pass catcher type of person. So he's gonna go to a team that needs that type of player. Right now, I'm not 100% sure on who he will go to. I do think that he'll get picked up during the season, though. I don't think he'll get picked up before the season starts in the training camp. I don't think he's that sought out for. You saw it with the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a lot of mouths to feed. We were talking about it the whole season as it went along. Jerick McKinnon got his 2 games to shine, and I don't think it was enough to motivate teams to want to get him right now.
For sure, for sure. Other guys that are still out there in the running back room, Melvin Gordon, we kind of mentioned him earlier. Will he end up on another team? I think probably not. I think we've probably seen the last of Melvin Gordon, unfortunately. Unless he takes that minimum with a team that is really desperate. Other people out there, Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt is a good guy to add to your roster, in my opinion. AJ, you disagree?
I wouldn't say good guy. But, he's a talented guy to add to your roster.
Talented guy to add to your roster.
I wouldn't say good guy.
Bad usage of words, okay? My bad. And then another guy, Jarrell Henderson. He could definitely end up on a team somewhere. All right, so that finishes up as far as running backs. Let's move on. You guys want to move over to wide receiver, or you guys want to talk O-line? Wide receiver, come on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
I was waiting for that.
All right, DeAndre Hopkins is probably, like next to Dalvin Cook, is the most sought after free agent. We were talking about him to basically start off the show because Brave is a big Titans fan, and he thinks he's going to be a Titan, but I think he's going to be a Patriot. For many, many years now, he's had a lot of respect for Bill Belichick, and I think because Bill O'Brien, his former head coach, being the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, is going to play a lot into his decision making. My opinion, I don't see what's so elusive or intriguing about the Titans other than Mike Vrabel. He used to, I think it was the linebackers coach back with the Texans. I think that's the only thing that would make him want to go over there. I think Patriots are much more alluring, and I don't think they're a great team, but I think they're better than Titans, in my opinion. So I think he's a Patriot.
He's not after a title.
He's not.
He's not after it. He's after the money. Very disappointed.
Very disappointed. I thought he was going to go after a ring.
Yeah,
I would go after a ring if I was DeAndre.
Honestly,
I think he was just betrayed when he got traded from the Texans to the Cardinals. I think that changed his whole perspective and his mental status on what this league is now. It's not about winning rings. It's not about. I mean, it is about winning rings, right? For the organization, but for some of these players, it's like, let me get my money before they kick me out this league. So I think DeAndre Hopkins is in that mindset. I do agree with you. I think he would fit pretty well with the Patriots. I think they could utilize him pretty well.
I know Mac Jones should be doing everything he could possibly can to get DeAndre Hopkins on that team. That's his only chance.
Yeah.
His only chance.
For sure. All right, but those are your two main options for anybody wondering out there where he's going to land. It's going to be the Titans or the Patriots. He made both visits out to there. I think they're just figuring out the contract, maybe seeing who's the highest bidder. We don't know exactly what's holding up it right now, but it'll definitely get done before training camp, in my opinion. Moving on, Julio Jones. Does this guy still have anything in him? I think he has to be ring hunting, right? No,
I don't even think he has that on his mind. He just wants to get on a team.
I feel like it was mine though when he went with Tom Brady. But ain't no country for old men, you know what I'm saying? I think a great fit for him. Oh, let's read this.
Ray says tougher division in the AFC East. No, I don't know if that's even a good argument for not going to the Patriots. It is a definitely tougher division. I think even if the Patriots get DeAndre, they're probably still fourth in that division unless something goes wrong on one of those other three teams. Definitely a thing I think he should think about. Titans, not as tough as a division. They might not even make the playoffs. I don't think they make the playoffs, the Patriots, with DeAndre or not. That division is just too stacked.
I think they have a shot if they get someone like DeAndre Hopkins. Because you look back at it, the Titans finished first in that conference, right? Whenever they had AJ Brown. So I mean, if they could just pull something, yeah, I know they got out their first playoff game, but if they could just pull something off like that, they have the potential, right, to be good. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl bound, but they have the potential to win that division. I'm not 100% convinced on the Jaguars yet. I'm really not.
Okay.
But that's just me.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I can
little bit
see
more
it
sold
happening.
on them. Sorry, Vincent. I'm a little bit more sold on them than AJ is. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Sorry, Vincent.
I agree with AJ though. I think the Titans are still contenders in that division just because the division is so weak. Jacksonville probably has the best chance. Indianapolis has no future in my opinion at this point. They're fighting for a draft position in this next year.
Anthony
It is what
Richardson,
it
Anthony
come
is.
on.
Richardson.
Come
It is what
on,
it
man.
is. He's
Oh
still gonna have
wow.
growing
Wow.
pains. He's
Oh
good, but right
jeez.
now
I hate him.
they're not gonna win the division. I don't care. I think Anthony Richardson will be good, but he can't do it all for that team. They have nothing
Okay.
there.
Jonathan
Like
Taylor.
that's it. Like everybody knows to stop him and Anthony Richardson, who's a running
Michael
type
Pittman.
QB scrambler.
Alec?
Reed. I like Alec. I do like Alec, but
He's
that
not going
team
to win
is
a
not.
division.
They're not a division winning team.
Nah,
That's
no.
my point here. But yeah, so I think his best bet would be to go to the Titans if he wants to make playoffs and fight for a ring. But at this point, we've already come to the realization that he's all for the money. And then Julio Jones, I mean, we'll see what that guy does.
All right. Rave says the Mike Variable team is always tough, even if they don't got good players. That is true. He's a tough coach. He inspires that out of his players. Jaguars will probably win if I'm being real. I think it's the most likely situation. They could definitely crumble. An injury too in a few positions, they could definitely crumble. They're not a solidified 100% team. Potentially they might be. We'll have to see. But everything in the AFC, if you want to win, you got to fight hard. Julio Jones, I think we can all agree, if he somehow lands on a team, it's because they lost a wide receiver or they just want a veteran presence, sign him on a vet man. He's not going to play a whole lot.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just going to throw this out real quick. Julio Jones, I think a perfect fit for him will be on a team like the New York Giants. They're missing that key factor. He might not be the wide receiver one play anymore, but he is definitely a presence and will definitely help out Saquon Barkley and Darren Waller if Saquon Barkley stays. That's all I'm going to say.
For sure. They gotta sign Saquon before they can even think about anything else. All right, next up is a guy who was once a prominent wide receiver in this league. I don't know what a lot of people think about him now. That's Jarvis Landry. I think he could help out a team. He's not your wide receiver 1 or 2, most likely. I think he comes in a certain place. What do you guys think?
I feel like he would have been a good fit for New England, but they basically got him already with Juju Smith, Schuster. Honestly, he's just a support guy, right? And these teams are so stacked. We just talked about the Jaguars, which I absolutely hate now for fantasy because I don't want to get Christian Kirk. I don't want to get Zay Jones because now they got Calvin Ridley. Like, how many weapons do you want? These guys are all, prominent wide receivers. And now Jarvis Landry will be one, but I think he could go well with the Tennessee Titans, and I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he could play that old Robert Woods position there, honestly. But Jarvis Landry, go ahead.
That's what I
Before
was
you
thinking
lose
of.
it.
He'll be a perfect fit for the Los Angeles Rams, giving a
I was
compliment
thinking
to
the same
Cooper
thing
Kupp.
too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let y'all take it then.
Yeah, I think he'd be a really good fit for the Rams. Just a quick look at who is needing a wide receiver to complement somebody else. I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver 2 that racks up a bunch of yards or catches, but I think he can help out, bring some tension away.
I would like to see him go to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they need a little bit of help right next to Devontae Adams. They need someone to be in the slot, and then they need a young guy to take that wide receiver 2 position. And I think Jarvis Landry, Devontae Adams, they can mentor people that they're going to bring into that organization. But Jarvis Landry, I think he's getting lost in the winds. I mean, he had his stint there with the Saints and the Browns, and he's just another flower falling from the tree, in my opinion. Poor guy, but I think he still has some stuff in the tank. Not a wide receiver one.
Rich says his hamstring is done. I think we're talking about Julio Jones.
Julio,
Then
yeah.
any receiver on the Titans can help, says Rave. I think, in my opinion, any veteran wide receiver added to any team is a good thing. If you use him the right way, he's the right type of guy. He's not like a guy who's going to yell for the ball every single down. If he's the type of a team, sorry, I can't. What's the word? Your teammate, whatever. Sorry. If he's a good teammate, he'll help out your team. Jarvis Landry, I definitely think he lands on one of those teams we mentioned. Kenny Golladay signed with the Giants a long time ago. Never really saw the field. Took a whole bunch of their money and ran. What do we think of him? He was once a considered top wide receiver or potential guy that's going to get up there. Do we think he can land on a team and help out?
Honestly,
I never liked his style of wide receiver play.
Okay.
I think he'll be a type of player that's going to land on a team like the Las Vegas Raiders. He's going to be kind of like that supplement player who can actually shine out because, his career has been injured or riddled with injuries and, not a consistent quarterback play. And if he finds that, he could find some success, but he's not going to be a standout guy. From the other stories you've seen, like for Christian Kirk, just to repeat myself, you give him a chance with a new system, new quarterback, and look at last year. I mean, he was a wide receiver 1, good for him, but I don't think we're gonna get that from Kenny Golladay.
For sure. I like it. All right, so that ends our wide receiver section, and I think that's all the offensive positions, right? We didn't miss anything.
Come on, dude.
Kidding.
Yeah, tight ends.
We didn't see tight ends. AJ, I honestly don't know anything about offensive linemen. I'll be completely honest, other than Packers guys. Would you like to take over here?
Really, when you talk about offensive linemen, there's a few people out there that you really want to talk about. One of them is the former Titans lineman. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler. Sorry, his name is slipping my mind right now. I'm going to try to look it up real quick.
Eric Fisher, DJ Fluker, Justin Poe.
Fluker.
Is it?
George Fant.
But anyways, this old lineman, like I said, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, right? So you kind of scratching your head why he's still a free agent. This guy, he loves that dude. Great player. And he is. But the thing is, he's gone through 2 torn ACLs, and that is pretty tough, especially as an old lineman, especially at his age. I believe he's 34 years old. You don't want to commit to someone like that, right? Because you don't know what he has left in the tank or how he's going to perform. Ben Jones, there you go. Is it Ben Jones?
No, that was just
no.
I'll back up.
Oh, okay. But that's really the one guy I really want to talk about. This is a lineman scarce league. He's actually a left tackle. There you go. He's a left tackle that was with the Tennessee Titans. His name is slipping my mind right now. But
this dude?
no, he's a left tackle. But
I think he got picked
Eric
up.
Fisher or George Fant. Those are the only tackles.
Did he get picked up?
I think he did get picked up.
There he goes.
Taylor Lewin.
But honestly, this is a offensive lineman scarce league. These guys that are still available, you really don't know what they could commit to. You have people like Mike McGlinchey even getting signed real quick. Ben Powers getting signed, which really they're not elite offensive linemen, but this whole league is open to getting someone who can outperform, outshine, and get that new contract. I know a lot of teams, such as the Niners, are committing to younger guys to help develop instead of going out there and signing these vets, because now we're in a different age of offensive linemen where, they're going up against D linemen who are just quick with it, are able to get to the outside. So there's different techniques. So you want that lighter style of lineman. But, free agents when it comes to offensive linemen, it doesn't really look good if you're not picked up right when free agency starts.
For sure, for sure. Your contracts just get smaller and smaller every day that passes. We're going to go ahead and move on to the defense end position. We're going over to defense. And in my opinion, as far as defense goes, you can never not have enough depth. Get guys that you can move and switch in there. More depth is better than not having. You got some schmuck going out there, and then he gets exposed by the team. So some of the pass rushers out there: Carlos Dunlap, Yannick
Ngakwe.
Ngakwe. Thank you for saving me, AJ. Then Jadeveon Clowney, Trey Flowers, and Robert Quinn. All those guys can definitely help out any type of team as far as depth was. A few of them might be able to start on a few teams if they end up on the right one. But any of those guys you can rotate in, get them fresh, give your other guys times to rest, and that really hurts the offensive line you're going against, constantly getting fresh guys in there.
You're 100% right. Jadeveon Clowney, I think he should be out of the league. I don't like him as a person. Kind of washed, in my opinion. Can't stay healthy. But you have a lot of threats out there as far as edge rushers, but that's the biggest concern, health. There's a reason why they're still free agents, right? And that is health.
All right. Let's move on to linebackers. We got Quan Alexander, Melvin Ingram, Kyle Van Noy, Miles Jack, Anthony Barr, Justin Houston. All these guys used to be starting linebackers in this league. Guys that were feared, guys you had to game plan against. I think at the end of the day, they might not have it, might not be able to play 100% of the snaps anymore. But as I said, with the defensive end, if you can rotate these guys in, give them a lot of these guys are pass rushers, which helps a lot. It can definitely help your team.
So when I look at this list of linebackers, one thing that pops into my head, the majority of these guys are up there in age, right? Like you said, Reed, these guys were fierce at one point behind the defensive linemen, such as Quan Alexander. I was a big fan of Quan. I think I even had a pick 6 when I was going against you in Madden with Quan there, Reed. So these guys are more in a leadership position, able to help mentor these young linebackers. But what a lot of teams are doing, same thing with the running backs, they got these young guys, explosive guys that are able to go out there and just find the ball, just like attack dogs, right? Because that linebacker position has also evolved into something that's more serious. Yes, they are the leader of that defense, but they got to be quick. You don't see big, bulky linemen anymore. You see more of a slimmer, more agile type of player. Not too slim, right? Not like a corner, but some guy that could get from sideline to sideline. And these guys are now slowly becoming extinct.
Yeah, there's no big hitters no more, unless they're on the D line. It's pretty crazy. I'm waiting to come up on the cornerbacks right here.
All right. We're going to get there in a second. But thank you, Carlos, for tuning in. We appreciate it, man. Always love seeing you in the chats. Corners, Vincent, would you like to take it away since you're so excited?
Yeah, man. I think there's just a lot of talent, mentorship-wise here. Eli Apple, nah, not that guy. He did all right. Nah, not that guy. Yeah, Marcus Peters. No, I'm saying not that guy to Eli Apple.
Okay.
Marcus Peters can still play. He is getting up there in age, but this guy is still one of those big hitter type guys. You put him back to that safety position, or you put him in a nickel package where he can come and help out. I think he's a guy who can still play. I don't know why he's not picked up. I don't know why Casey Hayward is not picked up either. These guys need to be.
Falcons.
Yeah, he needs to be on a roster. I'm not too sure what the insight is there. Maybe he is aging a little bit. He's not as quick. Other guys are quicker, and these teams are trying to get younger to build on that aspect. But there's just a lot of guys. Byron Jones, like we used to hear about Byron Jones all the time with that
Mhm.
Patriots defense. They were like killer. They were the unsung heroes because nobody would talk about them in the media. But then you look at the passer rating that they allowed, and it was like in the 30s or 40s as a combined defense for the Patriots. So I'm not too sure what's happening with at least these three guys. Another honorable mention for me is Artie Burns. I think he's still a quick guy who can still get off the ball, and he's a heat-seeking missile. He can get some interceptions there, and he tackles and wraps up pretty well. So cornerbacks, it's hard to tell because they're getting a lot younger. There's a lot of these guys who are coming into the league, and they're the number one corner for a team who was cornerback without cornerbacks, basically. So maybe these guys just can't do it no more, and I just haven't been looking into it enough. But I think at least Marcus Peters, Casey Hayward, and Byron Jones will get on a roster before training camp.
I like all of those guys, in my opinion. I really hope they do end up on a team. Corners go down all the time, and when you don't have an experienced corner to step up, it shows very quickly on your defensive side. All right, we all good in corners? Cool. Defensive tackles, Ndamukong Suh is still a guy that can come down on a play or two a series and wreak havoc. He's a big body. And then Shelby Harris is also a guy that you can sign.
Yeah, just plug and play players. The guys are going to find positions once teams start going through injuries, which teams already are with mini camps and practices. I mean, we've seen guys out for the season already, so that's where the plug and play comes in.
For sure. We're going to go back into offensive mode. Mercedes Lewis, as far as tight end, very, very, very old man, like 39, but he's a veteran presence in the locker room. Every team that he's ever played for, the guys speak very, very highly of him. Everybody loves him. He's the guy that if you need advice on something, you go to in the locker room. So that's who Mercedes Lewis is and what you'd be signing realistically. And then Cameron Brate, another tight end that you can sign onto your team if you need tight end depth. Tight end depth is always good. And then defensive lineman, Matt
Ioannidis.
Thank you, Vincent. Dwayne Smoot and Williamson Golston. And then to round us out, we go to special teams. Robbie Gould, AJ's favorite kicker, right?
He was. Screw that guy, man. I can't stand him. Yeah, I love saying it. Good as gold, right? Whatever. It fit perfectly because the Niners were gold and scarlet. But this guy 2 years ago, he was holding out. A kicker was holding out because he wanted more money. So what did the Niners do? The good people that they are, they paid that man the money he wanted. 2 years passed by. He's like, oh, I want to see free agency. Really, dude? You want to go to see free agency for what? We're paying you what you want. We're a contending team every single year. And what do you want? What do you want then, huh? I don't get it. So look at him now as a free agent, where he deserves to be, right? Now we got the best kicker in college football, the Moodster, Moody from Big Blue. Oh, some Michigan Wolverine style out here. And it's going to be a mood, to tell you the least, all right? It's a mood. That's the new saying. That's the new saying. Good as gold is out the window, and now it's a mood. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Hopefully you're not in a bad mood, AJ.
I'm always going to be in a bad mood.
Another kicker that's out there that we didn't put down is Mason Crosby. I definitely think if your kicker gets hurt in the season, he is a guy that doesn't have the strength in his leg anymore, but is as accurate as ever can be. So that's our thank you, Vincent. Thank you
for making respect that for Mason Crosby.
Appreciate it, man. Packers all-time leading scorer. But that rounds out our free agent list as far as guys that are still out there, big names that you can go sign, help your team. The big question on why these aren't already signed is just because they're looking for the right situation and the right dollar sign. That's the reason why they're not signed yet. Looking for the right situation. But as of all I got, unless you guys want to go back on any of these players, or AJ, you want to go through your announcement?
Sure. Announcement real quick, guys. We're kicking off fantasy football this Thursday. So fantasy football, we will have a live video coming out on Thursday around 6 to 6:30. So stay tuned. We'll keep you guys updated on our Discord. So if you guys haven't yet, join our Discord. We keep everyone updated to what we got going on. So during our live event, we're going to be doing a mock draft. So you guys can get an idea of where players are landing, ask us questions, and also we'll go more in depth with what we have being released, which are 2 fantasy football leagues. They're both going to be on Sleeper Fantasy, so make sure you join those. One's free, one's paid. A lot of prizes out there, cool prizes for your favorite team, NSP memorabilia, and maybe even more. Okay, so there's a good amount of stuff coming out. Also, we're so close to hitting 400 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, go tell your mama, go tell your friends, go tell your side chick, hey, go subscribe to NSP, because once we hit 400 subscribers, they're doing a huge giveaway, and I want to win that giveaway. And what is it, Reed?
A signed football.
it's a signed football. If y'all don't get it, Vince and I had an argument with Reed the last podcast because he claims that he never said anything, but he said that we're giving away a signed football. So guess what? We're giving away a signed football, and it could be from anyone who's playing in the NFL today. So we could give out a D-Hop, we could give out a Dalvin Cook. It could be one of those guys. I can guarantee you the price that this is worth is over $100, and we're giving this away absolutely free. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button and help us get to 400 subscribers. Remember, our goal is 1,000. Also, help us out on TikTok. We are so close. We're like 100 away from hitting 100 followers, or 1,000 followers.
1,000.
Yeah, so cool. We got a lot of great things coming up, but stay tuned, especially on our Discord. Remember, Thursday we will be going live with Fantasy Football Talk. We're back at it.
All right. Appreciate all the announcements, AJ. If you guys like this video, I saw a lot of moving in the chat. We appreciate that. We always love the trash talk, etc. in the chat. If you guys like this type of video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, as AJ says. And we'll see you guys next time. Keep on grinding.